We'll be starting in 2 minutes. By then, can someone confirm in the comments if the audio is fine in the YouTube live comments? Okay, I think we can start. Hello everyone. I welcome you all to the placement unit session. This will comprise of the resume format and basic communication as well as introduction to superset as well. So, yeah, so this needs to be followed for the internship season this year and placements next year. All right. So I hope everyone is attending, and if you know of people who are not, then please tell them that we'd be cutting placement points because this is extremely important. Okay. So this is the agenda for today. Firstly, we'll cover the resume format, and then we'll talk about superset and the communication channels. All right. So coming to the resume format, firstly, like the resume that you apply with for any company, that should be only and only in the superset format. Uh, that will be automatically generated by superset. So we'll go step by step here. Firstly, like the profile photo, as you can see, it should be an image of yours in formal attire with the standard bits background. We have already shared the image for the bits background on Slack and also on the email with you all. So kindly refer to that. And it should be strictly a formal attire. Then the CGPA that is mentioned here, please get it verified. I hope the screen is visible now. Yeah, the CGPA mentioned on your resume should be verified on Superset, and if that is done, then it will get directly reflected, on your resume on Superset which will be generated. Now there might be an issue here. So if you upload some older resume with the wrong CGPA, be it higher or lower, irrespective of that, than the current one, it will essentially be like falsifying of information. And we've encountered such cases during placements this year, and it reflects really poorly on bits because companies come back to us saying that um, saying that the CGPA on the resume and that on the superset does not match, right? So we won't be tolerating any of this during the intern season. Please take care of this. If there is any incident of this uh, type, then your candidature will be revoked from that particular company and placement points will be cut without any warning. So please take this extremely seriously. Now, regarding this particular specialization column, it is up to you if you want to add or skip this. It's not that big of an issue. I hope everything on this page is clear. Now coming to the resume content, right? So your resume should strictly be one pager. It should be a one pager document. So basically, when companies go through hundreds and two hundreds of resumes for applications, they do not have time to go through multiple pages. So be extremely apt in terms of what you want to display on your one pager resume. I cannot emphasize on this enough. The order of categories is totally based on your discretion, as in you'll have like internships, positions of responsibility, projects, and extracurricular activities, right? So if you feel that your internships will be the most important aspect for a particular role, go ahead and put those up above everything else. If you think the same for your PORs, then put them above. However, the general structure that is followed is, first you have your profile picture and your basic details, then your academic details, then your internships, your positions of responsibilities, your projects, and your extracurricular activities. Now, within one such category, for example, internships, as they are mentioned here, you be sure that you use bullet points and do not use paragraphs, right? So no one has time to read through paragraphs. Also, within one bullet point, make sure that you make certain content bold that you feel is important. That will be the first thing that the interviewer will, actually look at, right? After that, also wherever possible, try to quantify your impact. For example, in this particular resume, you can see that Smriti managed to increase the existing pre-release database strength by 300%, right? So try to come up with numbers that you can justify, and not just throw around any random number, because at the end of the day, the interviewers are experts in that particular field, and when they ask you questions to cross verify those numbers, you should be in a position to justify them. Otherwise, that would again reflect very poorly on your application. Now, talking about one single point, you can try using the STAR format, the STAR, that is a situation, task, action, and result. That is, you justify or explain what the situation was, then you try to explain what the task allotted to you was, then what actions you took to justify that task, and the result you achieved. So be sure that you follow this particular format, either this or the reverse star format. Whatever format you use, make sure that it is uniform all throughout, so that it looks presentable and uniform for the interviewer as well. Now, under one internship, for example, this one product intern at Adobe, make sure that all these points are bulleted, as I mentioned, and within multiple internships, make sure that these points are chronologically ordered. So that is the most recent one at the top, followed by the ones which you have done earlier. I hope this is clear as well. Now, coming to the general format and guidelines. So in the superset resume, there is a section for subjects and technical proficiencies as well. Now, in this particular section, kindly only list those subjects and technical proficiencies in which you are extremely confident, in which you can defend those skills in an interview. For example, if I put a particular course like DSA, then that will be most probably the first talking point for an interviewer, and he will most probably ask me questions from that particular course. So only put courses in which you're confident about. Secondly, the order of subjects slash technical skills awards and achievements, projects, PORs, and summer internships varies from profile to profile, as I mentioned. So it is up to your discretion whether you want to put your PORs first or your internships first. Thirdly, accuracy of information is mandatory. We check every bullet point within a resume. Falsifying information can lead to debarment from internships and placements as well. So I talked about how that can result into your candidature being dismissed, but that can also result into you being like entirely debarred from placements and internships. So please do not fake anything on your resume. And we already have mentioned that we go through every single bullet point. I cannot stress on this enough. Lastly, how to communicate your query. So, firstly, talking about the Slack channel. So you all have already been added to the Slack channel. We have already given the link through email, and try to get it from your friends by now if you haven't already. Try to be on the Slack channel as soon as possible, because that's our primary means of communication. Secondly, if and only if your query is not addressed on Slack, then mail at this particular ID, that is pu.bitspilani2020@gmail.com. So I would like everyone to take a note of this particular ID, make note it down somewhere. With this particular subject, you can ask us your query, SIP underscore query domain. And even if after both these mediums of communication you don't get a response, only then mail one of the PU members on their bits email IDs. I would like to request you all once again to not PM or call any of the members unless all these channels don't work, right? Because you all might understand, we get like calls from the HRs, from the companies, from administrative authorities, from bits, and it's not possible to respond to every query on WhatsApp or through call. So I'd request everyone to strictly follow Slack, then email, and then personal email. Yeah, I think Pranam can continue from here.
Thank you, Tejas. So now we'll look at some of the features of the Slack channel that you all are on. So let's start with superset queries. So let's say this channel is to be used for say problems related to superset. If, for example, if you're unable to apply for a company that you're eligible for, right? Say Microsoft, for example, is coming and they have opened their applications, and for some reason you're not able to apply on superset. So what you'll do is you'll go to this channel and then you'll put your query there. And this is strictly for only queries related to superset, not for verification requests. And for verification or re-verification requests, you'll go to the re-verification superset. So whenever a company, for example, whenever say, let's go back to the Microsoft example, when the application for Microsoft is open. So before applying for that, your profile needs to be verified. And let's say you've changed something, or let's say you've updated some information, and now you want it to be re-verified. What you'll do is you'll go to this channel and then you'll put in a request there. And you're not supposed to randomly put in requests. We don't re-verify for no reason. Let's say randomly out of the blue you change something and you want us to re-verify it, we won't do that. But let's say a company is coming this week or next week. We've announced that on Slack, and now you have to you have to get your profile re-verified in order to apply. This is when you will actually put in a request, and this request has to be specifically put under a thread. So someone from PU will let's say start a thread saying for Microsoft re-verification requests, put in your queries here. You'll have to specifically put in your query under that thread only. And for general queries related to the internship season, you'll have to put that under the Slack channel, internship queries. And also requests for enrollment or unenrollment can be put in here. And please, if you have some general query, instead of DMing one of us, try to put it under this channel, because one thing is it'll save our time also. And the other thing is like others will also be benefited from your doubt, right? It's not just you who might have this doubt. So try to use these channels appropriately. Can we move on to the next slide? So now let's talk about some of the details of re-verification. So let's say if your profile was rejected for any of the following reasons, you can request re-verification after adding sufficient proofs when applying for a company. Let's say you have something called as academic details, where your 10th, 12th marks and CGPA and SGPAs are there. And also you have your internships, PRs, other academic or club related project, award and recognitions, competitions or publications. So these are the different sections on superset. And let's say if it was rejected, right? So for some of the other reasons that I mentioned below, then we'll tell you what to do. For example, if your profile was not rejected, but you made some minor errors in the content of any of the above mentioned sections, then you do not have to request re-verification. Please note that down properly. And in the other case, let's say a proof is missing, or after you requested a re-verification, 3 placement points will be cut straight away. So everyone in the beginning will have 10 placement points. And if you submit a re-verification request without putting in a proof, we'll cut 3 placement points immediately. So ensure that your profile is updated with appropriate proofs before you request us to re-verify. And also your correct SGPA, CGPA, 10th and 12th marks must be verified by 4th August at max. Note down that date right now. So, and update your superset profile so that we can verify it by 4th August. A thread will be opened for these cases, and no CGPA verification will be done posted. And also one more thing that I had to say was, let's say the applications for a company, it closes at 12 or something in the night. So don't put in a request at 11:30 or 11 or 11 p.m. saying, and then, you'll come back to us saying my profile wasn't verified on time. Try to put in your request quite early so that the PU and JPC team, has enough time to go through your requests, like go through all the requests and, re-verify your profile. And also, if you put in at the last minute and then come to us saying, I couldn't apply, it's your fault, you'll have to let me in. We won't be taking in such requests because it is your duty to, put in a request well before the deadline. So I hope you have noted that down. Shall we go to the next slide? So now let's come to what proofs you can add. Let's say there is a certain section, we don't accept all kinds of proofs. We have certain format, but some kinds of proofs are only accepted. So let's look at that now. For CGPA or SGPA, you can either attach a mark sheet or transcript. For transcript, you'll have to mail. On the AUGSD portal, there's a particular section to get your transcript. You'll have to send them 300 rupees or something, and they'll give you your transcript. Either that, or you can go to ERP and get a screenshot and then attach this ERP screenshot for every SGPA and the final CGPA. So if you've gone through the Superset website, you might have seen that there is place for you to fill in all your SGPAs, right? Of all the semesters that you've given exams for till date. So those SGPAs for every individual one of them, you'll have to attach the ERP screenshot, and also for the final CGPA, you can either attach your transcript or your ERP screenshot. Both, any of them will work. And coming to the internship, you'll have to submit your offer letter or any sort of certificate that you were given, or screenshot of the mail confirmation from the HR, or any the company recruiting committee that you've mentioned, and also the duration and the company name must be clearly visible. For PORs, certificate or screenshot of mail from the current president, or there's some sort of committee that is in charge of a club. Screenshot of a mail from them will be fine. And for academic projects, the ERP screenshot or the screenshot of the mail from the prof or the BITS project report, any of them will work. And for club projects, you'll have to attach the certificate or the screenshot of mail from the current president or the heading committee which is responsible for your club. And in that screenshot, your POR and the duration must be clearly mentioned. Coming to awards, competitions, or recognitions, a certification of a screenshot or the certificate of the official certificate or the screenshot of the official mail is good enough. Can we move on to the next slide? So if you have any questions, you can drop I think we have put in a Google form on Slack. So firstly, you can use that and we'll be answering your questions now. And apart from that, if you have a query in general, you can drop a mail to pu.bitspilani2020@gmail.com. Please note this mail down. And yeah, that's all. Thank you.
I just had one point to add. So when you put the proofs for all the sections, say your internships or your PORs, make sure that they are in PDF format, because Superset has some glitch in which if it is in JPG or PNG format, those don't load at our end. So then we might have to ask, after rejecting your proof, you might have to ask for re-verification, and that might lead to overall BT. So try to put everything like compulsorily in PDF format. Also, some students might have opted for CBSE in 10th standard. So your 10th standard marks might be in terms of CGPA. In all such aspects, multiply your CGPA by 9.5 to come to the percentage format and enter that particular number in Superset. So yeah, I hope that is clear. Also, for PS1, like your CGPA after PS1, do one thing. You don't have a specific section for PS1 on Superset. So put the overall CGPA after your 2.2 as your CGPA after your PS1. So essentially, the CGPA on your Superset for after your 2.2 will be the one counting PS1. So now we'll be going one by one through the questions that you guys might have asked on the Google form. Give us a minute to open that. Okay, so first question is, can you tell us whether the coding test will be held in the IPC labs or not? At this point, we don't have entire information about whether yeah. At this point, we do not have information whether the coding test will be like if internship season will happen offline or online, since there is like a considerable amount of time till then. We'll communicate accordingly if they'll be held in the IPC labs or not. Second question is, are the company guys actually going to visit the campus or not? Again, we do not have clarity right now. We'll communicate it as soon as we get information. What steps will be taken by the PU to ensure fairness of conductance of online coding rounds? Can you ensure that almost all, if not, yeah, so we'll try to, make these rounds on campus, as in like in IPC, but again, like we'll have to figure out the logistics for everything. So yeah, like nothing can be guaranteed as of now, but yeah, we'll try to, ensure some way by which there could be fairness of conductance in the online coding rounds. I mistyped my CGPA. How and when will I get a chance to update it? I have included PS1 in the CG. Uh, you have included PS1 in your CG. I'm not sure what that exactly means. Can someone else take this up?
I think he must have assumed a grade and then written a CG, I think. Like say A or something in PS. I'm guessing that's what it means. Just typing
Okay,
it.
okay.
Okay, yeah, might like he might have ended up with a different grade, I think.
Right. So you'll get an option to edit that. That's not an issue. However, do that as soon as possible. About the PS1 proof, your station is not allotting an official certificate. So, okay, so if your station is not allotting like an official certificate, then the allotment letter would also work. You would have received an allotment letter at the beginning of the PS1 that this is your particular allotment. That, or worst case, like any email from that particular organization with a footer mentioning the designation of that person would work. I cannot see the internship queries channel on Slack. I'm not sure how that is possible. Uh, People have been posting queries on that, so I request you to kindly go through that again. Yeah, we'll be sharing the slides for this particular session on Slack, so that's not an issue. Also, like the same link will be open on YouTube. Like the video will be available on YouTube as well. Is a performance sheet an acceptable proof of final CGPA? So you'll have to upload the performance sheet as the proof of your final CGPA along with the ERP screenshots for SGPA related proofs. What is the end date to update Superset intern and project details? As we mentioned, next Thursday, that is, I think, 4th of August is the last date. The test scores is frozen. The CGPA we have entered is prior to PS1. Do we have to include it till 4th August? Okay, so like if you do not get your PS1 grades till 4th August, then obviously we'll like consider. But yeah, whenever you get them, like update that as soon as possible. The test score section, I am not sure. Like we'll look into
Yeah,
this.
Tejas, let me
Yeah,
add
sure.
add to the conversation here. So the test scores will unfreeze for every student whenever you get the PS grades, and when we unfreeze it, we'll set a deadline for say about 24 hours, and you'll get the time to update your CG.
Okay. All right. Do we have to verify a profile every time before we apply for a company? No, that's not needed unless you have made any changes in the description, or if you have added something. Only that's the time when the verification will be required. Can the award be a trophy? In the case of trophy, like try to mention like try to upload the certificate. I'm sure you would have received one along with in PDF format as a proof. So yeah.
जस्ट एन एडिशन टू दिस यार स्कूल वाले वो सब मत डाला करो सेकेंड ईयर खत्म होने को आ गए थर्ड ईयर खत्म होने को आ गए सो अवॉइड ऑल दोस
How to unenroll from the summer internship season if I've enrolled while registering on Superset? Even if you don't want to sit for the internship season, I think like there's no need to unenroll per se.
If he still wants to, I think on internship queries he can put in a
Yeah.
request. We can handle it. Yeah.
Yeah. Is there some percentage of profile to be completed? Like my profile shows 84% complete, even though I do not have anything more to add. Is it okay? Can someone take this up?
96 होता था यार
Yeah.
as far as I remember so I'm pretty sure you must have skipped a lot of portions just go through each and every portion and try to complete that part 96 is the number yeah
Right. What kind of proof can we add for personal projects? So personal projects are, if there are some GitHub links or something, like add those up. Other than that, we won't be able to, verify since there is no justifiable, evidence that you have done that particular project. So unless it is a link, we won't be able to verify that. Is SGPA semester GPA? Yes. And I've already clarified about fourth sem and PS1. Is there any option to edit the resume in Superset, like option to remove specific changes and change their ordering? Yes. For SGPA, you have to put performance reports that you have downloaded from ERP. Yes. Does PMP mentor count for POR or volunteer experience? I mean, that's up to you, but like put it in volunteer. That would be better.
A POR in PMP, I think that can be put under POR,
Right.
but
Right.
otherwise, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. If I get selected for a foreign research internship like MyTax, thus rejecting any offers from companies, will I be debarred? That won't be encouraged, but you won't be debarred per se. Like if you get an offer, you'll have to go through a procedure per se to actually not accept it. So, kind of ensure that you don't reject the offers that you are getting because that also disturbs the relationships that we have with those companies. But yeah, like you won't get debarred.
only yeah so this is an exception only for if you get a foreign internship be it research or industrial only then in any case you can think about dropping your internship other than that if there is any reason then you will be debarred from the upcoming placement season yeah. So try not doing that at all
If I don't land an internship offer, can I opt for PS2 and SEM1? Yes. PS1 proof again, I clarified it. What will be the timeline of the SI season, like day one, day zero? So that will, we'll have one more session like this in which, super more intricate details will be discussed based on, superset and the day one, day zero process along with the companies. So give us some time for that. That will happen like in the next month. What proofs again? Repetitive question. Is applying for a company compulsory? So like we'll mention it if it is compulsory. Am I right here?
that's what that happens in I don't think it ever happened at least in intern season placement one or two companies but intern
Okay, fine.
But you are encouraged to apply for a company if you're eligible for it.
Yeah, of course. Right. Last date again that has been mentioned. If we have completed a global experience program of a company, can we add this under internships and work experience? Uh, Again, that depends on what kind of a program that was. If it was some workshop that doesn't come under an internship, we'll require a proper offer letter saying that you have been offered a position of this particular role at this company as an intern, mentioning the timeline. So like that will depend on case to case. For certifications and co-curricular activities, how how old can they be dated from? Again, like that depends on you, but we would urge everyone not to put anything right from school unless it's very prestigious. PS2 grade, PS1 grades, again repetitive. Yeah. By mistake, I wrote my graduation date as May 2022 instead of May 2024. How can I change this? There's some section, right, which cannot be edited. Is that can this be edited? Is anyone aware of this? The graduation date. I think we can change it. Again, we'll get back to you regarding this. Is a percentage equivalent for CGPA? Do we have to multiply the CGPA by 10 or 9.5? So yeah, it's 9.5.
But that's only for the school one, right? For the college CGPA, we just normally put it as it is.
Oh, yeah.
And
Okay, I
even in
didn't-
school, it depends on your board. But I think only CBSE gives a CGPA, so for CBSE it's 9.9.
Hmm.
Fair enough. Will the companies arriving this year follow kind of similar timeline as the last year? I mean, you can expect a similar timeline, but yeah, I mean, at this stage, we cannot guarantee anything, but most probably it'll be similar along the last year's lines. Till when do we have to complete the profile? That is also done. For academic projects, if it has been done for a course, what kind of proof should we upload? So for this particular thing, you can, upload the email transcript, email screenshot with your professor saying that, you have been allotted this with the project title. Does a GitHub?
Even, yeah, right.
Yeah, go on.
I was saying if you are done with the project, then nothing better than your report. Right?
Right, fair enough. Does a GitHub link to the code work? Yeah, it does. The ERP screenshots do not contain any unique identifier like name or ID number. No. So ERP may there is like name and ID number at the top. So be sure to include that. Otherwise, like it doesn't make sense to. I can just put any random ID. So we won't be verifying any ERP screenshots without the email ID and the name. Do we need to attach proofs for technical projects and technical skills? So there is no need to upload proofs for technical skills, but yeah, for projects, again, if you have a GitHub link or something, like put that up. Is there any potential finance companies coming for the internship season? We cannot comment on this right now. Prior to 4th August, in case I'm not sure the proof is enough or not, should I ask on superset queries to verify? Yeah, like these can be taken by case basis. Just ensure that most of your profile, like almost everything, is verified by 4th of August. If anything comes up, after that, obviously we'll take that into account. If I've extended my PS1 and have proof of the HOD ratifying the same, then should I change the ending date of the internship? Yeah, that's fine. For the conversion of CGPA to percentage in the PU session, you mentioned it's 9.5, while in the document shared, the multiplier is 10. So for 10 standard, I'm pretty sure it needs to be multiplied by 9.5. And for like college CGPA, I don't think anyone will ask you for that in percentage format. So I don't think it should be an issue. My PS1 organization is not listed in the internship section, so I'm not able to put it up.
Company is, I think, is talking about वो drop down में company का नाम,
Yeah.
if it occurs or not, it does not matter. Even if it is not mentioned, you'll take it. Just try once again.
So note that I'm like skipping the repetitive ones. I hope you get the answers. I think there is an option to upload like personal project details and JE ranks. I've done that. So like if you still haven't have a query, then you can put it up on like superset queries. Some of the proofs I've added are screenshots. So yeah, so try to upload them in PDF because it's a lot of, a hassle for everyone if it does not show up at our site. What proof can we give for our class rank in 10th and 12th standard? Again, if you have received any certificate of sorts mentioning that your class rank was that, apart from that, I'm not sure what you can put. Just put like your percentage if you do not have a proof. What will be the proof for that?
Ideally, even don't even put that sub
Yeah.
T1 either. Yeah, no point.
I've mistakenly filled my first degree as triple E and second degree as chemistry, and it has been frozen now. Oh, I think this was mentioned in the guidelines as well that you won't be able to change this. ठीक है, text one of us. We'll see if anything can be done. What CGPA one must put in case we have a makeup exam which is supposed to be held at the end of August? In that case, like obviously don't assume any grades. Like whatever CGPA is reflecting on your ERP right now, only mention that on superset. And whenever you get grades of that particular compre, you can edit your CGPA accordingly. Is it possible to unenroll from a particular company's internship once we have filled the Google form? No, that is not allowed. If you have filled the enrollment form for a particular company, you have to attend all their rounds. I mistakenly put my current semester as fourth semester instead of fifth semester. Now I'm unable to edit this section. Okay, so for this particular editing thing, like I think you can ping us on Superset. Should I add my open source contributions in the resume? And if so, then where? I think you can create your own section or maybe put that under projects.
Projects or work also, I think you can put it under that.
Fair. Can we add MCN in the scholarship section? Yeah, you can. If I get an off-campus offer while the season is going on, can I back off from the season without any repercussions if no campus company makes an offer till then? Yeah, if you do not have an offer, then it won't be an issue. However, as Coach Agrapiya mentioned, only in the case of foreign research internships will this be allowed if you have an offer. If I get an internship offer, then will I be allowed to do thesis in semester one? Yeah, that's totally up to you. You can't just, the only rule is you cannot do PS2 in your odd semester just after the internship. I took all clear in 1-2 because of which ERP shows 0 SGPA for that semester. Yeah, so in that case, put like 0 as the SGPA. Anyway, like your final CGPA would be the one that matters. So yeah. If the PORs have not been handed out yet, what is the last date up to which POR response can be accepted? Again, like whatever you have right now, try to put that before 4th August. We will accept like on case by case basis the updates you'll have to your resume. While applying to companies off campus, you need to be sure that it won't make us ineligible for the same company. This is very in this case. In that case, I think you should look up for the specific company rules. Certain companies mentioned it on their websites that if you've applied, then you cannot apply to the same role like 6 months in the 6-month period from which you have applied. So in this case, PU cannot do anything. Like it is your responsibility to check. How do we verify our superset profile? Is there a certain tab, or we just let the profile be and it'll get verified? Yeah, so you just update everything and put the request for verification only when you have put everything that you want to on your superset profile, and then some member from our team will verify it. Education gap section is locked. Is it locked? Is anyone aware of it?
Check with JPC.
Yeah, we'll get back to you. Like mention this in the superset queries. Do companies visit in second semester for summer internship? Yeah, they do. Can the PU also release a placement data for the 21-22 batch on project expository? So that is up to the discretion of the placement managers. We'll try to update that whenever we get the information.
Yeah, because sorry, I'm interrupting Tejas. Actually, the stats have not yet been frozen. So it's going to take a little bit of time. But if anybody has any specific query, they can come to us with it.
Sure, sir. I cannot link my PS1/summer intern project due to NDA from the same company. what do I do to give you a proof? So as I mentioned, like if you don't have a specific certificate from your PS1, the allotment letter will also work. And if you don't even have that, then the email from that particular company will take that on a case by case basis. If I'm doing an informal project with a professor in bits right now, what kind of proof should I upload? Again, the same as the case for a formal project, an email conversation with him confirming that informal project. Or if you have completed the project, then the final report would be better. Should I add the SOP I'll be doing in the upcoming semester? Uh, so that depends if you have started working on that particular project. Because if you mention this in your resume and the interviewer asks you about this, then you'll have to answer the questions accordingly. But if you have proof, like the email transcript, then yeah, you can if you have started working on it. How will our name or ID be shown in ERA screenshot? I think it is like I think he means ERP, but it is shown in the grades section, like the semester wise grades that you get. The ID and name is displayed at the top. In CGPA proofs, the ERP screenshots don't have the same name and ID. Okay, there are multiple queries regarding this. Can someone else clarify if that is the case? Like the ERP screenshots do mention the name and the ID of the student, right?
I think there's a drop down, so maybe you can check that once.
Right. Can I put tech team in work experience? Not really. I think you should put it under like a project or a POR if you hold one in the tech team. That won't be counted as work experience. What CGPA makeup exam? I've already clarified it. This is also clarified. Are the proofs shared with the companies or is it only shown to the PU? Asking this as if the proofs are shared with the companies, he would prefer to share proofs that include certificates codes. Irrespective of whether it is shown to the companies or not, the proofs need to be extremely, updated and foolproof. It doesn't matter if they're shown to the companies. And in some cases they are. In most cases they are. Would the technical tests of core companies be open book in nature due to hundreds of formulae involved? I think that will depend company to company. I don't think like companies conduct open book tests. Someone can
No,
correct
bro,
me if I'm wrong.
that's not the case. Yeah,
Yeah.
you don't even think about it.
I just have an assignment letter for PS1. It does not mention the duration. Yeah, it would work. CGPA in bits is 8.07. Is it equivalent to 80.7%? I think CGPA you can just mention it in term like on a scale of 1 to 10. All the instructions regarding verification only those who are enrolled for the internship season, right? Even if you don't want to sit for the internship season, it'll be better if you put all your proofs because you'll anyway need this verification for your placements next year. If I have publication, the offer that you receive. In case of an off-campus internship, can we go for PS2 and 4.1? Yes, you can.
I think, but some of them ask for NOC, right? That will be a problem because the institute won't give them an NOC in that case.
As long as it is not clashing with your PS dates, there is no
No,
problem.
no, guys, no, nothing doing. If you have got a summer internship, you are not going for your PS2 in semester one, as clear as that. There is nothing about the company giving an NOC, nothing of the kind.
So they're
As simple
talking
as
about off-campus internship.
Off campus, sir.
Okay, off-campus internship is not a problem, but as far as PS2 is concerned, we are very, very straight about it. Please go on.
Yeah. I think these are repetitive questions now that we have completed a lot of them. What proof do I attach if I'm a part of a particular club but don't have a POR? Then you can ask the current POR holder to, write an email to you mentioning that you have been a member of that. Can I still put it under test scores? No, you cannot if you do not have the proof for it. What happens if you don't meet the CGPA criteria? Should you try to fill the form for a particular company at all? So, like, till now you have been filling Google forms, so it was possible for everyone to apply. But once, like, we start with superset, then if you're not eligible, if you're not meeting the CGPA criteria, then you can't apply. Essentially, you won't get an option to apply. Which subjects will be considered for percentage calculation for 10th and 12th boards in the case of 2 extra subjects? So this depends again from board to board. I'm not aware of every board, but like I'm pretty sure in the final certificate it mentions a particular total or the last like final CGPA or the percentage, and that will be considered. Point that we might be missing. We'll clarify on this on the Slack channel.
I think then, if that is not the case, the PDF which we get on, what do you call it, performance sheet, yeah, that would be suffice. It
Right.
has all the ID numbers and everything.
Is abroad thesis allowed after a summer internship? Yes. If I get an internship from campus, can we drop it and do PS2 in Sem 1? What repercussion will be there? Would someone like to take
Sir,
this
would
up?
you like to take it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll allow it because finally PS is your degree depends on PS, but do allow us the freedom of cutting most of your points. So we'll
Right.
we'll kind of leave you just about breathing. So if you have 10 points, we'll say okay, fine, let's cut something like 9 points so that you're just alive, sensing what's going on around you, or something like that. We'll think up some satisfying punishment.
Is there any way to withdraw from the application for a particular company? No, there is no way. Once you have applied, you have to go through the rounds if you're selected for the further ones. Will an ongoing research intern that will continue till the SI duration starts cause any problem in any company? Till the SI duration starts. So if you're doing it before the SI starts, then there won't be an issue. I do not understand this particular question. While clicking screenshots, okay, this is again repetitive. Do companies come for internships in 3-2 as well? I am a single degree student. Yes, they do. However, most of the companies, like historically, have been coming in the first semester. But yeah, there are companies that come in the second semester as well. I think we are done with all questions.
Guys, I'm sorry, I'd had to drop out in the middle. Were you able to cover the exclusive companies also in the policy for them?
So we have not completed. We have not covered the companies and the exclusive policies. We'll be holding one more session to elaborate on that. This was just a resume building and superset explanation kind of a session.
Check. Got it. Thanks a lot.
I think we are done now.
Yeah, I think we are done. We can drop off.
Thank you everyone for
Thank
joining.
you everyone for joining. If you have any further queries that might not have been clarified here, feel free to put them up on the internship queries Slack channel. Thank you so much.
Thank you everyone.